Good morning, beautiful warriors of light. How are you guys doing?
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing?
We are 2 weeks away, and honestly, Siman and me and the rest of the Office of Christ team have been working our asses off to put together the most powerful event. And Siman and I felt very guided. Our guides wanted us to come in with all our love, but also give a bit of tough love where needed and share a very powerful message. And I invite you all to place your hands on your heart and really bask into the enormity. Just bask in the enormity of what this event means to every single one of us and to planet Earth. What happens in Tulum, May 11th to 15th, 2022, is going to shift the timelines for planet Earth, is going to shift the timelines for every single one of us. We are going to quantum jump into timelines of ease, joy, connection, love, abundance, peace, vitality, vigor, and so on. Right now, Siman's and my primary objective is to create a high frequency container that's high enough for our galactic families, for our angelic families, to be able to lower their field into our space. And this is no ordinary task. I repeat, Siman's and my primary goal is not to please ourselves or to, work less or to try and cut corners or to please every single one of the participants coming. Our primary goal right now, our primary intention right now, is to create the most powerful vortex that becomes a vibrational match for the angels, for the ascended masters, for the temple healers to come in. And you know why this is so important? It is because as we shift, as we heal, Mother Gaia heals. As we all light up, as the electric light bulbs that we are, the beacons of light that we are, we become the beacons of light that go around spreading this light all over the planet. And there are a few potential red flags that every single one of us needs to be aware of. And right now I'm fully channeling. So make sure your hands are on your heart so you feel the frequency of these words. When we did the shift into 5D retreat, I want to share a true story. We hosted a 7-night retreat. On the very last day, on the 6th day, or on the 5th day, I cannot remember, we started it off with an angelic ceremony as always. Our angelic ceremonies are very potent because we work with very powerful teams that come down because we are a vibrational match to them. So our vortex is very powerful, very high frequency, very activating, very healing, very magical. But that being said, if you're slightly off in your field, you will not only be thrown off yourself, but you can potentially throw off the vibrational container that we are setting. And that is the intention of this message. In Costa Rica, on the 5th day, we were supposed to, as a gift from the guides to the 18 beautiful souls who attended, there was a gift from the guides on the last day to go to gift them a spiritual initiation. What happened on the 4th day is that 2 or 3 people started throwing around their negativity, expectation. They started gossiping. And there was only 3 people doing this. And the rest of the 15 people were madly in love with us. They were madly our cheerleaders, high vibrational warriors, but they had no idea how to handle this backbiting negativity about us, about the retreat, about whatever. There was simple things, like one lady, for example, had knee pain, and these 3 girls had expectation that Siman and I had to go and give her healings. It sounds ridiculous. We were like running a retreat, but that energy of backbiting became so big.
We were not even offering healings.
Yeah, that energy became so big that it came up as an energy of psychic attack towards us. You know why? Because we were in a safe container with our 18 people, and we had poured our heart, love, flesh and sweat and blood into those 7 days, because we went very, very, very deep in our love. And then to have 2 or 3 people backbite us and to our face be sweet, what happened, to cut a very long story short, my friends, is that the last day, the guides canceled the initiation. So it was huge, it was massive, it was actually the most powerful lesson learned in that entire retreat. What happened was, the lesson for the 3 people who were backbiting, gossiping, coming in with their expectations and throwing around their negativity was simple. But the lesson that the other 15 people learned was to stand up and voice their truth, to stand up and not allow backbiting or gossip, to not allow this energy, to not even like just blindly listen or endorse it. So anyway, we want to set the tone for this event because it is so powerful. And Siman and I right now, we have only one goal, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, to raise the frequency of this space so high that the angelics can come down. And who benefits from it? Every single one of us. You benefit from it. So there's a few things that I want to go through, and then Siman will jump on as well. The biggest ego trap, you have to remember that when powerful light workers such as us unite with a common goal of raising our vibration, with a common goal of spreading love, spreading light, and anchoring these 5D frequencies, you have to remember that beings or forces not serving the light will do everything in their power to irk you, to work on your unharmonized ego, to trigger you to feel like you have some sort of entitlement or some sort of expectation, or that you are so powerful because you know what, you paid 11.11 and bought a ticket and now everybody has to dance to your tunes. In art, when we look at it like, really? But the ego is very cunning, it's very clever. And in the opening ceremony on the 11th of May, we were planning to go through some of this. But because we saw a little bit of energy creep up in the Telegram chat, we wanted to address this in its roots, because the intention of this event is not to have 140 crybabies saying, oh, I'm not happy with this or I'm not happy with that. And because we can also say that, we can say we're not happy with you guys, we're not happy with your behavior, right? But we're not going to do that. Every single one of us is an owner. Every single one of us is a partner. Every single one of us is a co-creator of this vision of bringing and broadcasting. That's our whole intention, of broadcasting these 5D frequencies to planet Earth, so that more and more people can receive these frequencies and open up their eyes to, holy shit, what are we missing? We need to get on our soul's path and need to start getting on this train. So Siman, do you want to address why we're making this video?
So the main point that we wanted to address is the fact that we will be doing full video coverage of certain aspects of the event, not the entire event, but certain aspects.
He's talking about live coverage.
Live video coverage. And I wanted to explain a little bit about our intention behind that. Our intention behind that is for the benefit of humanity. We do everything for the benefit of humanity. That's the key to our success. Because we are so focused on the big picture and we're directly working with the angelic realms. So we broadcast the event because this event is a frequency that we cannot duplicate on our own. 150 powerful light workers are coming from all over the world, and we're doing such powerful work in a very, very high sacred container, possibly one of the most high frequency containers on Earth.
That Earth has maybe ever seen, who knows?
So it also becomes our responsibility to humanity to make sure that as many people as possible who need to be tuned into our messages in the future, or even receive remote healing from such containers from our event, we're making this frequency available to them. So then there's also the question of expectations. In North American society, the psychology is very egoic. The psychology that we've been taught from a young age is that of demanding and taking from others, especially when money is involved. Like, for example, if you buy a ticket to go to an event, people suddenly get expectations, and
And
that's all
entitlement.
ego. That's all ego.
Yes.
We may not be aware of our ego, but expectations and entitlement are 100% ego.
And on the other end of the spectrum, I just want to add that gratitude and humility and this sense of, wow, I am so blessed that I got to be invited to this. I'm so blessed that I somehow was led to these people, and now I'm somehow by magic part of this event. That is your higher self channeling through you. So you see the difference?
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out.
Absolutely. So a little bit of correction is needed in terms of how we approach any kind of need that arises. There's 150 people coming, more or less. So there may be 150 times 100 needs that arise during those 5 days. But we're not saying suppress all your needs and just do as we say. What we're really saying, is everyone realize that you are a co-creator who is equally responsible. So you have 1 divided by 150th share of responsibility.
I love
Every
that.
single one is equally responsible for ensuring that their own needs are met. And that does not happen by you coming with your expectation and hanging it like a garland around me and EldoRa, or to
Or
go
our
to one
team.
of our organizers, or to go to the venue. We are creating the blueprint for 5D New Earth, right? That's what we're all consigned, we're all agreed to do here. We're creating the blueprints for 5D New Earth, and that means bringing forward a higher way of being. We need to stop changing our story from being that whiny child that we've been trained to be, to a conscious, powerful adult. So, for example, let's say we're doing the video coverage, and one of the days in a specific part, someone says, I'm going through a group healing session and I prefer not to be videotaped. That is fully within your rights to say so. However, if you approach it with the tone that this is my expectation and I should be entitled to this, of course you're entitled, no one's arguing that. But we're saying change your angle. Change your angle from demanding to saying, I do not wish to participate in that section, so I will take responsibility to ensure that A, I'm not within the range of the video. We will have a designated section where people, the photographers and videographers, are instructed not to cover that area. And secondly, if by chance somebody gets videotaped, or you see that you were videotaped, don't make a big fuss. Just go to the video guy at the end. We're all co-creating. So you talk directly as a co-creator to the video guy and say, this is my name, you took my footage, you can take my picture. When you're editing, please make sure none of my pictures are in the videos.
That
Simple.
being said, this is not our intention. So one of the reasons we're making this video is because we saw a few messages on Telegram, and the frequency of the messages were very concerning. I'll be very direct.
They were based on entitlement.
They were based on entitlement, and there were some words like, it should be our decision if we are filmed or not. We are EldoRa and Siman. We're not your average Joes. Our vortex is not the normal Joes. You need to attend a few retreats to know what we're talking about. You need to attend a few spiritual events, and then you will have appreciation for the frequency we bring. So if you have this, let me reframe it. Right now we are taking time out to make this video, but we have 10 other things that are very important waiting, but this is so important that we wanted to correct it. So I have a message for every single one of you. When you write in a Telegram chat that we should have the final say, this is your ego working through you and you don't know this. We don't blame anybody. This is our human experience. This is your ego saying, let me create trouble, let me create us and them, let me create a rift. And some people say, me too. And the others say, yeah, you're right. This is called troublemaking energy, and your ego is at play right now. The other way is, if let's say someone is they love us, they love EldoRa and Siman, they understand the 5D vision, they understand the sacredness of what we're doing. How would someone like that, how would your higher self approach this?
Someone who's in gratitude.
Someone who's in gratitude. If you're not in gratitude, this vortex is going to slap you in your face. Even with us, if we're not in gratitude ever, our vortex will slap us in our face, because gratitude is the entry. It's the frequency to enter. So many of you watching, gratitude might be a very new concept for you, because we're not taught gratitude in our young age. So it's very important that from today, before you come, you realign your expectations, because Siman and I are not your average Joes. We do not cater to your expectations. We do not cater to your entitlements. Our angels are our priority. Our galactic family is our priority. Bringing them down and creating a valuable space for them to even come down and give us all the healings is our priority. Our priority is to take care of all of those who are coming in with gratitude for what this frequency is even offering to us. If you're not in gratitude, my friends, you're wasting your money, because you know what? You'll come here and you may have the worst experience ever. If you come here and start complaining, saying, why am I in this room and I don't like my roommate? Well, it has been made very clear from day one that you'll be sharing a room. If you can, upgrade to a private room. If you can't, stay in a shared room, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
the
very
point being,
important.
everyone take responsibility
Yes.
for their own needs.
And also be very careful in the words that you use. When you start using words like, we should have the final call, you're creating this momentum of negative energy that could burst into a huge momentum.
And that energy transmits to others.
And we don't want to cancel our whole ceremony because of 5 people. And the message to all of you watching who are in your gratitude, luckily for us, I would say 85% of the people coming know us, value this vortex, and are in 100% gratitude. Lucky. That's why we're so particular about our YouTube channel. We don't allow riffraff. We are love, light, and fuck you masters, because we are masters. We are vibrating ascended master frequency, and it's very, very tangible.
You will feel that here.
You will feel it.
You will feel that in the vortex, and the people who are unconscious of that feeling, it'll feel like you're getting irritated or irked by us. So be aware of that, because at the end of the day, and this is again our guides channeling through us right now, this is not just a music festival where you just come to bounce around and go home. This is a mystery school at the end of the day. And our focus is on the angels, but it's also on your ascension. So if at the end of the day, we're spiritual teachers. And when we see people, we see them as potentials.
Yes.
So when we see something within your ego that needs to be highlighted and brought to the forefront, then we're going to do that. And that may not be tasteful to you. That may not come across as something you enjoy in that moment. But at the same time, that is the expectation that we're setting, that when you come to our house, there's an expectation that everybody plays by the rules, everybody cooperates, everybody takes responsibility, everybody takes care of their own needs as adults and sovereign beings, and everybody says, how can I leave this space better than when I arrived? Not worse. Like, we don't want to clean up your shit. We don't want to clean up your negative energy and have to do more work because you just had a fit. So I'm not saying
I love it.
This will happen,
love it.
but this is all to set the stage for the amount of intensity that you guys are about to walk into. Do not underestimate the intensity of this vortex, is what we're saying.
And also a message coming in very strongly for those of you 85% or whatever, 90%, I'm just generalizing, of you who are already aware of all these lessons and who've already practiced gratitude. Listen, we're all going through an experience. So if you're not in gratitude, say, oh shit, I'm not in gratitude, let me get back. Don't feel like, oh my God, I feel cornered. That's the ego. Right from now, this point, literally affirm to yourself, I invite more of my higher self-wisdom, and I let go of the stories and the whininess and the complaints of my ego. The ego is more worried about, will I be filmed? Will I not be filmed? Let me make a fuss about this. Oh, there's no cold water, there's no hot water today. Let me make a fuss about this. The ego is always going to want to make a fuss. Your higher self is going to be in gratitude, saying, you know what? When Jesus, if I had experienced something like this when Jesus walked planet Earth, I might have had to sleep on rocks and caves with no food, no water, no electricity. Right now, I have a bed. Even if there's another person in my room, I have such a nice hotel on the beach. Gratitude is key. So I have a very direct message to those of you who are already in gratitude. What the Costa Rican retreat people did not do, because they didn't know, they hadn't learned this lesson, is that when people start throwing around negative energy, it's very important for you guys to really start practicing showering your light on them and saying, like many of you already did in the few messages I saw on Telegram, you said, how about you shift your frequency or your focus, instead of being worried so much about this, instead say, hey, like perhaps it's just a suggestion that you guys made to them, right? You said, how about you say, I'm not going to play small anymore. I'm going to stand in my power and let go of these stories of my ego and broadcast my frequency to the rest of the world. That is my light work. That is my soul work. If I came to planet Earth and because of my healing, that somehow the photographer took, and now so many people are getting healing because they see my healing, why do you think I cry and I'm so vulnerable on YouTube? Why do you think I do that? Because when I heal, I'm healing you. And because I'm healing you, my guides are showering me with so many blessings, because unlike most spiritual teachers who don't show their healing journey, who are like embarrassed or they don't want to show their vulnerable sides, I do the opposite. Why do I do that? I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for success. You know why I do it? I do it for you. I do it so that you can be healed watching me heal. So you can perhaps shift the focus into standing in your power and understanding what we're doing. Because I'll be very honest here. If we find people coming in more with the focus of complaints and expectations, you will not be a vibrational match to future events. Right now, we are training our ascended masters. We are training our first batch of initiates. We are preparing Earth for the timelines that lie ahead. So I hope this was very clear. For those of you, every single one of you watching, the strong message is, come in with gratitude for even being accepted into this vortex. Don't come in with entitlement. Come in with a sense of humility. Because otherwise the angels are not even going to literally don't get left out. Don't leave yourselves out because you cannot recognize the ego. During the event, we're going to try and see if we can have maybe 2 counselors just on standby, because your shit may come up, especially if you haven't cleared it. And it's important that you don't project your shit on EldoRa Siman said this, or she said that, or he said that, and instead be an adult, a grown-up adult, and say, holy shit, I'm behaving like a total child. I need to go and get my space and just sit on the beach and meditate and understand that it's my shit coming up, and I need to understand, why am I feeling this way? Oh my God, it's because of this thing that happened in my childhood. So it's a process that you go through. You don't throw your shit around, especially in these high frequency vortexes. And is there anything else we need to cover on this?
Just one quick thing that I wanted to say, that when you feel that somebody else is being negative and they're trying to pull you into their vortex, this is also part of your training, that you immediately detect that uncomfortable feeling and say, their ideas are a bit negative and they're not my ideas. They're trying to pull me in so they can get more support for that negative energy. And I'm not okay with this. And practicing, nope, you know what, you have to excuse me, but I'm not a part of this conversation.
I love that. And
so
this is your training.
Everybody become a sovereign being. As humans, we're too la-la. We get pulled into other people's problems. Oh, really? This happened? Okay, let's try to find a solution. You're following other people's energy. Follow your own energy for a change. Everybody come as a sovereign, supreme being of light in their own pillar, who knows who they are. And when you feel distortions from others, the least you could do is not participate.
Yes.
Oh, you can go one step further and even
report
say
it. You can even
no, not report, because that has a
I want to get into something about reporting as well, and I'll tell you why this is coming in.
Confront that energy and say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with that.
Correct. I'm not having it. This is actually your training, guys. That's why I'm going so deep in this. When I say report, that's the wrong word, but there's 3 things you can do. So first of all, understand that everybody in the soul family doesn't have the same frequency. Some people can be loving our events, can be coming to our events, but be not in gratitude. So first of all, recognize that even in soul family, there's different consciousness, there's different vibrations. We're all going through our soul lessons, our human experiences, correct? Second, you're not the coach of everyone. So don't take it upon yourself that somebody's being negative. So, oh my God, now I have to go coach them and sit with them for 5 hours and, baby them. That's also not your job. Very important to know that if you start feeling ungratitude from someone at the event, say, I'm not comfortable with that frequency. I need to excuse myself. Make it very clear. Don't become a part of the troublemaking gang. That's the first thing. Number 2, you don't have to report it or talk about it at that point. Don't further that negativity.
Don't perpetuate.
Don't perpetuate. Don't go and talk to your friends and say, oh my God, that person's so negative. No, it's still...
Don't forward the gossip.
Don't forward gossip. Gossip is zero.
Cut it.
Gossip, energy, angels are not a match for that. This is so important, you guys. That's why I'm so glad this came up. Thank you for triggering this video, every single one of you, because this is a co-creation. And like, it's a blessing, really. This video is a blessing. So second thing, just stay away from it. Don't even add to that, because that negative ball now is very small. You've heard somebody, you've said, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that frequency. I have to excuse myself. That's mastery. That's what an ascended master would do. And then don't even talk about it. Now, let's say you continue seeing this person constantly perpetuating that negativity. That's when we will tell you, we will have a designated person and say, hey, you need to bring this to this person. You need to, speak to this person and just let them know that one person's creating trouble. Hopefully, we will not even have any of this. Listen, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully, we're not even go there. But we need
That's
to.
why we're making this message
We need to give you the tools. Gossip, stay away from it. And as Siman said, know that when light, so imagine this is a frequency of light, immense light, like the sun. When the sun shines, the light of Ra shines in front of you, anything that's not harmonized or dark will come up. And all you have to do is say, I let it go. I'm in gratitude. I'm in surrender. I'm so in gratitude that I'm even here for this healing. Instead, if you go into entitlement and expectation, all your darkness will come up and then you'll start becoming the person who perpetuates trouble. So I hope this video helped you guys. I love you guys so much, and I'm so honored to be co-creating this powerful experience with every single one of you. Every single one of you is here by invitation. It's not random.
It's a privilege.
It's a privilege.
And with the right corrections, we'll have a very powerful vortex of beings who are just here to co-create positive timelines and working well with each other. And we cannot wait to see you.
We cannot wait. Bye, everybody.